Hi there, it's Chris here from Technify Networks. So the purpose of this video is to show you how to configure GRE in a Cisco IOS router. So GRE is generic routing encapsulation. It's a VPN, it's a tunneling protocol that provides connectivity to a wide variety of network layer protocols by encapsulating and forwarding packets over an IP-based network. GRE is a non-secure site-to-site VPN tunneling protocol, and because it is non-secure, so because of this, IPsec is implemented to secure the GRE tunnel. So I'm going to be making another video, to configure GRE tunnels, and then I'm going to be using IPsec to secure it. So, and GRE uses IP protocol 47, and GRE is designed to manage the transportation of multi-protocol and IP multicast traffic between two or more sites that may have only IP connectivity. It can encapsulate multi-protocol packet types inside an IP tunnel. So basically, we're just going to be jumping into action quickly and get started. So what I've done here is to, build up a topology already, because there is going to be a lot of configurations. So in order to save time, so I'm gonna be using notepads for this. So I'll explain this topology quickly. The topology we've got here, we've got a site in New York, and we've got another site in Dallas, and we've got the ISP. So we're gonna be connecting these two sites together. We're gonna be creating a tunnel to connect these two sites so that the LANs, the PCs here, is able to communicate with the PC in New York. Want the PC in Dallas to be able to communicate with the PCs in New York over a GRE tunnel. So we're gonna start with the ISP router. I'm gonna be using a notepad for this. So I'm gonna name this ISP router. So I'm going to start with the configuration, then I'll say enable conf t, that means configure terminal. Then I'll go to, let's say, host name. We'll say ISP, and then we'll go to the interface now. Interface serial 000. So we say no shutdown. And then we say IP address. That's 201.12.12.1 is gonna be .1 on the ISP side, and then it's 255.255.255.252 because it's a /30. So we're going to say exit. We exit our interface, and then we'll go to interface serial 001. We'll say no shutdown. Then we'll say IP address. That will be 64.10.13.1, 255.255.255.252/30. So then we say exit. So I think that will be all the configuration for the ISP router. And let's say do right to save the configuration. So we're going to split this page here with this, and then we move on to let's say New York. We'll say New York here. So we'll say enable, and then conf t, that means configure terminal. and then let's say host name New York. And then let's say interface serial 00 000, no shutdown. I use no shut, I abbreviate it. Then IP address, say 201.12.12.2, 255.255.255.252. And then we say exit, so we exit our interface. Then we go to interface gigabit 00, that's for our LAN. And then we say no shut, say IP address. That'll be for this, that's for our LAN. So the IP address is gonna be 192.168.10.1 for our gateway. This is /24 255.255.255.0. And then we exit that interface. Then the next thing we need to do on this router is to actually go, okay, let's create a static route first. So when we create a static route, to create a static route, we need to create a static route to be able to reach this interface here, to be able to reach Dallas through the ISP. So the next up address is going to be the address of the ISP router on this interface. So I'm going to say IP route. We are trying to reach this 64 network here. So it's going to be 64.10.13.0, and the subnet max is 255.255.255.252. And then the next up address is 201.12.12.1. That's the IP address of the ISP router on this interface, and that will be that. So we're just gonna leave that for now, and then what we can do next on this is to actually create the tunnel, so we go to the tunnel, we'll say interface tunnel 10, let's say no shots, although it's going to come up by itself. So the IP address we're using for the tunnel is 172.16.13.0/30. So this is going to be .1 and that's going to be .2 there. So that in New York is going to have .1. So I'm going to say IP address 172.16.13.1. It's going to be 255.255.255.252. And then here we have to say tunnel source. So we mention this interface here. So we just say serial 0/0/0, and then tunnel destination. We need to mention the IP address of Dallas router, and so because that's our tunnel destination, so we're going to say 64.10.13.2. so it's .2 there, so we should be fine like that. And then let's say exit, so we can say do right. Then we're going to create a routing protocol later on to advertise this route and the tunnel into the routing protocol, and then so that the two sites are now able to communicate over the GRE tunnel. So I'm going to split that page and then move on to Dallas configuration, because I'm going to be pasting this one by one. So I'll say Dallas here. So that's for our Dallas branch. I'll say enable. Conf T means configure terminal. So then I'm going to be saying host name Dallas. And then I can comment that and say, and go to the interface serial 001. Say IP no shut. That's for no shutdown. Then IP address. Well, go triple D there. That's 64.10.13.2. It's gonna be .2 there. So 255.255.255.252. So then we can exit that. So then I'm gonna go to the LAN interface. That's interface gigabit 00. I'll say no shot. And then IP address. It's 192.168.30.1, 255.255.255.0/24. So I can say exit. Then I can create a static route to this network to be able to reach this network here. So I'll say IP route. I'm going to 201.12.12.0. So then 255.255.255.252, because it's a /30 network, and the next up address is going to be the IP address of this interface there, of the ISP interface. That'll be 64.10.13.1. So static route is done. Then we create a tunnel here as well. So we can do that. Say interface tunnel 10. You can say no shot, although it's gonna come up automatically. Let's say IP address 172.16.13. We are .2 there. So then 255.255.255.252. And then, yeah, so we can say tunnel source. Our tunnel source will be serial 001 from there. S0.0/1. And then our tunnel destination. And that will be the IP address of this interface, and that's 201.12.12.2. So we should be done there, and we'll save our configuration by saying do right, because we're going to be in global configuration mode there. So now we can now paste the configurations one by one before we configure OSPF as our dynamic routing protocol to connect the two VPN tunnels together. So I'm gonna do this for the ISP router. Let's say I'll say copy. I'll go here to the CLI. I'll paste. So I think everything is okay over there. So to verify, let me go Control Z, show IP interface brief. So everything should be, both interfaces should be okay. Yeah, they are down, so they're gonna come up by the time I paste the other ones, because this interface is down, this is down, so I need to paste those before they can come up. So I'm gonna go right here for New York. I'm gonna copy the New York configuration. I'm gonna copy the New York configuration. So then let's use Control C here. And then I'm gonna paste it here. I'm just gonna expand this quickly. So I'm gonna paste. So we can now see these two interfaces are turned green here because there's a, yeah, and the tunnel is up as well. So I'm gonna say do show IP interface brief. Yep, those interfaces are up. Gigabit 00 and 000, and then the IP addresses has been assigned to it. And then the tunnel, yeah, the IP address has been assigned to the tunnel as well and is up. So and then I'm gonna go to our Dallas router, I think New York. Yeah, so we have the host name as New York. Yep. So I'm gonna go to our Dallas router. Let me go to our notepad and copy the configuration. So right here, yeah, and that's for our Dallas router. And then we paste that. I'm gonna expand this, and I'm gonna press enter. I'm gonna paste. So let's say do show IP interface brief. So everything looks good. Yeah, it looks good. So what I'm gonna do is I need to assign IP addresses to the PCs as well. So I'm gonna go desktop. That's PC 0 belongs to this LAN, so it's gonna be 192.168.10. Let's start with .5. So 255.255. Then let's say I'm gonna copy from here the default gateway. I'll paste that. That'll be .1. So then I can ping my gateway and test it. Ping 192.168.10.1. So successful. So I'm gonna go to this PC here, and then next up I'm gonna assign an IP address to that PC as well. So that's 192.168.30.5. we start with .5. Then the gateway is gonna be .1. So I'll change that to .1, and then we try to ping our gateway from there as well. Ping 192.168.30.1. So it's successful. So if I try to ping the other PC now, it's not gonna work because we don't have that in our routing table. So the IP address is 192.168.10.5. So destination unreachable. So this is when we're going to configure OSPF and advertise. We're going to advertise the tunnel into OSPF and our LAN into OSPF. Then there's going to be connectivity over the GRE tunnel. So I'll go to New York. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll say router OSPF. Let's use process ID 1. So, and then router ID, let's use 1.1.1.1. Then network, so the tunnel, the GRE tunnel network 172.16.13.0, and then we're using the wildcard mask 0.0.0.3, and that will be area 0. And then we can advertise our LAN as well, our LAN network. So network 192.168.10.0, then 0.0.0.255, then area 0 as well. So that should be that. That's done. Let's say do right to save the configuration, and then we'll go, let's do show IP route first. Show IP route, just to see that our static route, do show IP route, do show IP route. This is all abbreviated. Okay, our static route is there and it's correct, so because that's important. Normally I should ping this interface from there to test the static route first. So let's say do ping 64.10.13.2. So yeah, that's successful. That's normally for the static route. So then we're gonna configure OSPF on our Dallas router to connect the two sites together. So I'm gonna exit this interface prompt, and then router OSPF. I can use the process ID is only locally significant. I can use 10 here, so it doesn't matter. Then router ID, let's say free.free.free.free, and then network, we're gonna advertise the 172.16, the tunnel.13.0, then 0.0, that's a wildcard mask, .0.free. Then it's gonna be area 0 as well. So there will be an OSPF neighborship now. The tunnel, yeah, you can see there is a neighborship now, adjacency. So there's connectivity between them. So I need to advertise the LAN here as well. Then I say network 192.168.30.0, then 0.0.0.255, then area 0 as well. So let me show IP OSPF neighbor. Let's do right first, and then do show IP OSPF. I'm abbreviating all these neighbors. So you see the adjacency is with the tunnel, and when we start communicating with one another now from both sides, this ISP router, if I go show IP route, he knows nothing. Show IP route, the ISP router knows nothing about the tunnel, and he knows nothing about this local network here because he doesn't know anything about the remote network here. So we are just using GRE to communicate, to create a tunnel and communicate between those two sites. So if I ping here now, it's gonna work, and then I'm gonna do a trace route. We'll see that it's going to be over the GRE tunnel. Before it wasn't working, that was my previous ping. So now I will just continue, and we can see the ping was successful. So if I trace the route now, if I do trace RT 192.168.10.5, so we can see the first up is gonna be our gateway here, our LAN gateway. So and the IP address is .30.1. And then the second hop is through our tunnel interface, which is 172.16.13.1 over there. That's over there. This is .1, this is .2. So it's using the tunnel to reach this network. And then we can see the destination IP address that we traced. So, and that's it basically. So, and if we go onto this PC and say show IP route, we're gonna see OSPF there as our tunnel is advertising OSPF. Okay, let's do Ctrl Z, show IP route. Let me even say OSPF. So we can see we are learning this route via the tunnel, via tunnel 10. So if you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There will be more configuration videos coming your way. So I'm going to be making a configuration video to configure GRE and then securing the tunnel with IPsec. Okay, thank you very much for watching and have a good afternoon.